Hello, welcome to Doug and Carol's Adventures Part 3, Hawaii, October 2009. We stayed at the Turtle Bay Resort on the island of Oahu on the north end. Very nice place, very quiet, very tropical. Here's a view of the hotel from the pool. Get to see the palm trees. And if you look really close up here on the sixth floor overlooking the ocean is Carol on our balcony. In the lobby there are two parrots. Here's a picture of me by one of the parrots when I was walking through there one day. And here's a shot looking back at the hotel at a little bay. This is Turtle Bay, and one day we were walking by here and saw a turtle swimming in Turtle Bay. Here's a shot of some surfers that were out there most every time of the day taking advantage of the waves. And this area up in here, this is a location where the radar unit was that spotted the Japanese coming in to attack Pearl Harbor, but they saw a blip on the screen and thought it was some B-52 bombers coming in from California and decided to ignore the radar blips. Here's a shot from our balcony overlooking the north point of the island. And in the morning we start out with our breakfast of some fruits and vegetables and some smoked salmon. Yummy. Also, you can't forget to have the coffee. Again, a shot of our balcony with our cups of coffee in the morning. One of the first adventures we took in was the Polynesian Cultural Center. This is the parade of the different islanders. This is some of the Samoan people. And here's a group from Fiji. Also, this guy here started a fire by rubbing sticks together. We actually watched him do it, and he did start the fire that you see there. And here's Carol by a long boat canoe, very long, as you can see from the picture. And before we saw our dinner show, we had the traditional luau. There's the pig for our luau feast that we're going to partake of. And here's a picture of one of the tourists. Oh, that's Carol. And here's her plate of food that she put together there. Then a little bit later in the week, we went down to Honolulu and partook of the USS Arizona Memorial. Here's a shot while we're on the memorial. You can see part of the boat here. You can still see the boat submerged under the water. Here's Carol looking at a layout of where the boat is under our observation deck. And inside the memorial, they have a nice wall where they have the names of all of the men who lost their lives that day. And about 5 minutes away from the Arizona Memorial is the Aloha Stadium Swap Meet, where everybody goes to get cheap T-shirts to bring back to all their friends and relatives back in the States. And there's that funny tourist again. I don't know who that is. And while we were in Honolulu, there's something called the Punch Bowl, which is the National Cemetery of the Pacific. And it overlooks Honolulu, which you can see in the background, and there's Diamond Head and all the hotels where the tourist stays, the Japanese tourists. And on the way back, we stopped off at the Pali Lookout, and this is the north side of the island. And it's a really nice outlook, as you can see there. There's a shot of me looking from the outlook. And on the way back, we stopped off at one of the shrimp shacks. There's these little shacks alongside the road, and they cook up some shrimp for you. And it's really tasty, really cheap, and really good. One day we stopped at Sharks Bay and we did some snorkeling. There's one of the snorkelers there. This area back here is a secluded bay and it's just teeming with tropical fish. Unbelievable. It was a really neat place to go. And right down the road from there is another beautiful beach. Here you see one of the sun tanning people here laying on the beach, and you see the beautiful sky, sand, and water there. And right in the general area of the hotel, there's Waimea Falls. It's a nice nature park with a lot of vegetation, and of course, here you see a giant tree, and of course, there's the waterfall. And what would a trip to Hawaii be without some golfing? This is one of the golf courses on the property. So we partook of golf several days while we were there. And there's me standing on one of the greens. There's me teeing off with the ocean in the background. And again, walking around the grounds there is another shot of the golf course behind me. And here's Carol taking a little relaxation on one of the beaches on the property. Yeah, who's this funny guy? Boy, he's, I guess he's like pointing to go this way, Hawaiian people. And while we were in Hawaii, we had a rental car. Here's our rental car, and for some reason, Carol didn't feel too comfortable riding around in this car, and I don't know why. And one of the last days we were there, we went to a Las Vegas review type show where they pulled in people from the audience, and here's one of the guys they pulled in from the audience for an Elvis impersonator review. Yes, that's me, hamming it up on the stage. Had a great time. And with our final days left, we decided to take in some little relaxation. Here's a shot from our balcony. And walking around the property again, taking in some of the scenery. Some more, just taking it easy, looking around, relaxing. Oh, there's Carol in the pool. This was our last day. She said, I gotta take a dip before we head back home because it's going to be cold when we go back. And here's our last picture in our hotel right before, as we were heading back home. The happy travelers enjoyed their week in Hawaii, and now it's time to head back to our normal everyday lives. Well, that's it. That's our trip to Hawaii. Doug and Carol's Adventures Part 3. Stay tuned. Who knows where we're going to go next?